We're learning more information about what happened with the contaminated gas issue last week. And the fuel supplier at the center of that costly mix-up has now sent the state a complete list, as best they understand it, of the gas stations that received regular gas contaminated with diesel. And we just got a copy of that list as well, just within the last half hour. HF Sinclair is one of the largest fuel suppliers in the Denver metro. They say the contaminated fuel came from their terminal in Adams County and then was delivered to gas stations between Wednesday and Thursday of last week. According to the list, there are now 15 more stations added to the nearly 3 dozen retailers we already counted that were all sent the bad gas. We're talking Sinclair locations, Costco's, Gas Express stations, a Valero. The state gave an update just within the last 30 minutes, talking through some of the big questions we still have around this issue. They say they've now received more than 600 complaints from drivers across the metro. They also believe at this point the fuel that was bad has been replaced with good fuel at stations moving forward.
We're hearing from some consumers who are saying that they're going back to the gas station, to that point of contact, and that they're having issues because the gas station owner is saying that, oh, we weren't part of this. What do the consumers need to say to those owners to make sure things happen?
With the publication of this list, I think the list can hopefully speak for itself. This effectively is Sinclair's list of affected facilities. If that gas station is claiming they weren't affected and they're on Sinclair's list that we're helping to publish here, that's certainly enough for us to help encourage them to honor claims.
9 News consumer investigative reporter Steve Steger, you have led the way on reporting the story. You have talked to countless people who have been affected by this. That question stemmed from conversations you had. People going back to the gas station saying, yo, I had bad gas. What are you gonna do about it? And the station's like disputing it, so.
Lots of conversations we've had. I mean, in the last day, since we've really started to kind of nail down on where some of these stations are, we've heard from people about specific stations where they've gone back and said, no, I got diesel in my tank. I went to my mechanic. I have proof of it. Please let me file a claim, and they haven't been able to do that. Hopefully you heard Zach Hope from the Petroleum Division there say, having this list out from Sinclair is so useful for those people to now go back to that gas station and say, I need to file a claim. Pay me for my expenses that it costs to repair my car.
Which it is pretty expensive, right? What people told you.
You know, I'm hearing ranges from all over the place. It depends on how much damage it did to your vehicle. Some people were able to pump out for like $500. We talked to somebody who pumped out for $500 and her car was still smoking because some of the residue from the diesel is still in there. But, you know, and then I've heard everything up to $5,000. You've got to also be careful. This is another consumer moment. Put my consumer hat on and say, try to get quotes from people. And if something doesn't seem right to repair something, it's probably not right. But you know, like it could do damage to fuel pumps. You might have to have your fuel pumps replaced. It depends on how long that gas was in there and how far you were able to drive with it.
Yeah. Also, your team has been aggregating the best you can a list of affected stations. We're updating our website every day with what we've learned. But when I say aggregating, it's because you've been waiting on a list from Sinclair. You've got your own list from companies like King Soopers telling you. So it's tricky. Bear with us. We're updating as we can.
I got to tell you,
9news.com though.
I will sing the praises of King Soopers for a long time now because they came out on the first night of this and released a list. And they've taken some stations off since they've tested the gas. But they were upfront about this from the beginning. It took Sinclair about a week to get this list out there so they could coordinate. I understand there's a lot of kind of confidentiality agreements between the gas terminal and who gets the gas, right? Like where the gas stations are.
Consumers don't care about that though.
Yeah, I know. And when your vehicle's damaged, that's the tough part. And I talked to Zach Hope at the end of this and I said, do you have enough regulation right now to tell these retailers that they have to release a list? And he said, not necessarily. It's not written into the law. So it'll be interesting to see if this triggers something and gives more power to consumers in situations like this.
Okay, again, check the website, 9news.com. That's where Steve's putting the latest information. And we will see you later today as well for your ongoing reporting on this story.
All over the place.
A million follow-ups on this.
Yep.
Great. Steve, thank you.